in Vegas. Okay, hello there. We are actually now live on YouTube and everywhere, and the Dr. Boss channel. And I have here with me Kyle Kosteka. He is the host of the ClickBank podcast, and he is a critical member of the ClickBank team and really knows so much about marketing and everything. He taught me a lot in the last few years that I've known him. And I'm so excited for him to join us today on our live broadcast and talking about Doctor Podfest and why doctors should consider leveraging their medical expertise online. So welcome, Kyle.
Well, hey, thanks for having me, Dr. Ann. It's really great to be here. As you can see, I'm joined in Fremont Street by horrible Harry right behind me. But this is not a horrible conversation. He's mad because right now, like so many people, he is in need of doctors to be online and controlling the message and presence. I think there's a lot of people out there that believe through AI, we know everything. And there's just so much information. What can we teach? People are going to put those issues in there. Maybe we're going to see doctors diminish in their value, but I'm going to tell you that is so incorrect. In fact, right now, all that's happening is people are losing trust. They don't know what to believe. They don't know who to believe, and they definitely don't know what's right for their bodies or themselves. And right now, without barriers being in between you and the message that you want to get to people, doctors and medical professionals it's not only an opportunity, but it is a need for them to rise up, take advantage of their presence and their influence, and become the new leaders of authority in health in this market where people are going to trust anything or nothing from a regular institution. So I think it's a really critical time to take advantage of not only combating what AI is doing, but using AI to expand your influence and take time now to become a leader when other people are honestly desperately looking for one because they're absent in a lot of society right now.
And that is the chunk for. So let's kind of break this down a little bit and kind of like, as doctors, we're just focusing on seeing patient in the office, helping patient one-to-one, and we don't know about marketing. We don't really know what it means to be online because we're never taught that. So let's just kind of like step back a little bit and kind of look at the overview of what's going on now with the presence of AI. We know AI is going to change the world, the way we live things. It's almost going to be like fire, right? AI is going to change everything we do. So how does AI help or does not help physicians at this point? Because information now is everywhere, right? So as doctors, we get questions from patients all the time that they will Google and will question us on why we recommend certain things. That's fine. But now AI is even making diagnosis and even recommendation. And I think even now some of the medications now are even prescribed. So how does AI now affect how physicians, the environment of what physicians are, and then we'll discuss about what physician can do.
Yeah, no, I think that's such a great point. I think it's a huge challenge. One of the biggest challenges facing not just the medical industry, but a lot of industries is a lot of that profession involved access to information that was inaccessible to everybody. The AI effectively changes all of that. It starts shifting that into a different mentality, a different way that we look at it. So what I think that could do for you is there's a couple of things that the challenge is you're going to get a lot of people that I mentioned before. They don't trust anything anymore. They don't trust, medical information that they deem as coming from large organizations. And sometimes that makes them distrust the diagnosis they're getting. So you get those challenges. But this is where I tell you it's a bigger opportunity because all this information is coming from a machine. Do we as human beings truly trust a machine? We don't. We trust people. And what we really want is clarity to understand what the right information is, what the right protocols are, what the right whatever is, and start to build a relationship with an individual and with the doctor. So one of the things is reasons why this is so critical in this advent of AI, if you don't have a presence online that people can connect with, a personality, something to say that people care about, and feel like is true and they want to connect with, um, it's going to be very, very hard to not only compete, but even have a business anymore because people feel like AI will give them everything a passive general practitioner would or a normal doctor would. So it's up to you to elevate and go beyond that. Now, the exciting thing is at the same time, where AI can make things a little bit challenging with what people know, it also could supercharge your ability to create and expand your influence. So, where it does create some problems in what you might do in your regular practice, it also gives you the avenue to expand what uniquely makes you an amazing doctor, what uniquely makes you an asset to the medical profession, and now take that and carry it out to so many others. And AI is going to make that a lot easier and more effective and do it in ways that you previously never could. So, where it's creating some challenges in other ways, and you have to shoot through that clarity by having an actual presence online, which even could influence what those LLMs or those AIs will say and how people find you. But most importantly, you can then use that AI to also expand your influence a lot faster without a ton of time, without a ton of money, and really impact people in a very positive way.
I love that because you can see it as a challenge, or you can see it as well. I can use this at the pivot to be found by AI. And accidentally, when I was on ChatGPT and was doing some asking questions ChatGPT, I found out that ChatGPT was quoting me from my videos on YouTube. And so as I was trying to find information, I myself got quoted, and and it also linked to the direct video that I was talking about on YouTube as well. And to me, that was like I am more than ever convinced that doctors need to get on YouTube to educate and to also share their message, because if they're not going to be cited uh,
Hmm.
by by Google, who also own YouTube, who also own Gemini. And did you hear the latest? I believe Siri now is partnering with Gemini now as their AI partner. And that would be huge, because that's going to be
Yeah.
all Google search and YouTube content. And so that is where I lead me to the next question, is that how do you see doctors being online, and what advantages is there for them at this time, and how does that relate to ClickBank?
Yeah, so I think with doctors being online and how they could relate to ClickBank, so it's kind of a big question there. But I think the biggest way to visualize this is, again, there's a lot of uncertainty in the world right now around medicine. Whether it's, and these are going to be politically agnostic things. Whether it's the I would say what's going on with Maha, whether it's people that are still in shock from what occurred over the pandemic. In general, consumer confidence, especially in our medical professions and large pharmaceutical, large medical institutions, is at an all-time low. And with that, they're
Mm,
being fed some sort of information all over the internet, tons of information on the internet, which I'm sure many in your practices have had this trickle through. It isn't correct. It's wrong information. I was talking to somebody that actually is on the board for nutrition with Colgate, and they actually advise for the National Nutrition Board, and they were talking about one of the biggest things they worry about is the misinformation on the internet that's around everywhere. So what I think so critical about doctors being online first is they become beacons of truth. But once again, why being online, why talking about these things, sharing your beliefs, your information, what you know is right about health and your specific realm of expertise, and being able to communicate that to the masses is adding a huge benefit because people get correct information. Adds huge benefit to you because you now represent the truth and that reality in the medical field, not just for your community, not just for your practice, but now for the world and individuals that happen to live in that influence. So it gives you this great ability to expand that influence. And through that, it also gives you the ability to make sure that people are solving the problems that you are highlighting, not only in your way, but with your products. And why that's important, if you have products, if you have a business centered around this, a protocol that could really change lives, not only does healthcare become more accessible to them, but you go to companies like me at ClickBank, where we're able to find other individuals that could take your message, your brilliant brand, and go expand it out like hired guns, mercenaries, and go at for basically payment of a commission, go and scale your business. We've had people go from $0 to generating over $2 million a month in just affiliate sales, meaning affiliates are selling stuff for you getting your product, getting it out there. And you don't necessarily have to run a media team. You don't have to hire an agency. You just have to make a product and make an impact and let others take care of the rest. And it can create massive scale, massive brands, and most importantly, massive impact at a time that we can't trust regulatory boards or the standard things that have worked in the past in the medical field to actually make the impact. It really is up to doctors now to not only get online, but get online to make the impact that's needed.
Wow, yeah, that's impactful. So can you explain what ClickBank is? Because doctors are not familiar with affiliate marketing, and we don't even
Mhm.
know what that means. And because we're always been told, well, people should refer to you because of your credibility and your good work. And if you pay somebody to refer to you, that's against ethics. So we always have this little shy of affiliate marketing. But can you kind of explain affiliate marketing and then what ClickBank does, so us doctors who doesn't do marketing can understand it?
Yeah. So first of all, just something you said, it's like the idea, hey, if I pay somebody to refer me, it's unethical. And I think I can understand that when the decision is made purely for the dollar. But I think one thing you want to strip away, affiliate marketing is there individuals that have access to traffic. That's the easiest way to think about it. By
Mhm.
traffic, I mean they have access to influence. People, whether that's they're going to be able to buy ads for a commission, or they have a group of people that listen to them and they're going to talk to them about your product for a commission. A good way to think about this too is it's not going for you. They're not selling medical services. You have to have an online presence where you're talking about what you believe in, your impact, and other people are going to share that. Now, that might be an influencer, it might be a podcaster, it could be a YouTuber, it could also be people that have large email lists. It could be some people, and what we deal with a lot of are individuals that just buy paid traffic. So they're going on to Facebook, they're going on to Google, and they're paying for the ads for you, and anytime they make a sale, when they do those ads, you pay them for that sale. It's not a service. We don't need to feel dirty about it. What we're really doing is you believe in what you do, you believe in your impact. The last thing you want to do is let that die because you don't know how to get the marketing and get it out there. There are people that already know how to do that, and they just need you to pay them a commission. And they're going to go and get that impact for you and get that message out there, and do it on a place where you're not going to have to trust an agency or shell out your own cash, hoping you could figure it out. These people are experts in their field and they'll do it for you so you can create rapid growth. Normally, if you weren't using that, it's going to take either a ton of your time and a ton of your money, or at least one of those things, if not both, to get to that level. And you might not ever even get there. So affiliates are a bit of a shortcut. You just have to make sure that you're basically the way that you sell or what you're selling to people is fit for the affiliates you want to work with.
Okay, so is it legal for a doctor to do this?
Yeah, 100% legal. Now, the one part where that could change is the one part I don't know, and I won't speak to this, but in terms of if you're selling information to people, there's nothing illegal about selling information. You're not
Mm.
telling you're not gonna diagnose anybody, you're not gonna cure any, well, depending on what you're talking about. So, but as long as you're not gonna do anything that says, I as a doctor am prescribing this to you. If you, a doctor, are sharing information that is information to help something that is not pharmaceutical, you have every ability to do that. And we've had many medical professionals do this. One of the best examples, if you want to see a doctor that's been able to take from practice to growing a massive national brand, look up Dr. Gundry. That was an individual with affiliates and affiliate marketing and direct response marketing, everything in the ClickBank world. In fact, owner of that company is a longtime ClickBank client. And they were able to grow a huge brand with him, all based on the information that he shared and wanted to share with other individuals. If you have information, which you do, you can always legally share that. You're not diagnosing, you're not prescribing, you're not doing any of that. You're selling what you believe in and what you know, and there's nothing unethical or legal about that, even if you're a doctor.
Wow. Now I'm glad you said that, because that has always been an objection where doctors say, "Well, what about the liability and all of that?" And I keep telling them, "This is education, and you have to say that I'm not your doctor, and it's a disclaimer. You need to discuss this with your doctor, and it's information at your risk." It's kind of like you're seeing
Mhm.
something on Google and you decide to do distressed because you found it on Google, and if you injure yourself, it's at your own risk. So there's no different than doctors going online. But doctors have this big resistance, and I keep telling them that it's okay. It's almost I almost feel like it's their moral obligation to educate. Because the information that we can share in our head here, that we can really dispel somebody's fear that they've had for months or years within minutes by just
Hmm.
education and what we know. And so, what is ClickBank view on a position in the online space, and where do you think you guys are heading with your with affiliate marketing in partnering with physicians?
Yeah, well, great question. Kind of Bill, you were talking about before. I think one thing where you say, hey, it's information, people need to find, they're going to Google it. And what I would tell you, and I just want to go back to this is really important for right now. If you don't say it, if you don't give out the information that's right, that's correct, somebody else is going to say something, and they're going to find
Mm.
some information, and there's a good chance it won't be the right information. So, would you rather your incredible medical expertise, experience, your entire life you've dedicated to helping people, get the right information out to people to make that impact? Or do you prefer a housewife from North Dakota to watch about 5 YouTube videos about why this is the way that you should fix your body? I think we'd all prefer the medical professionals doing. So when we talk about ClickBank and what we believe in, we've actually seen already one of the biggest trends, and I'll talk more about this in my talk and share some numbers with it, is consumers right now are looking to trust things, and high authority brands and high authority products that have people that we know are coming from a place of they're the leaders in their field, they're leaders in this. If they're talking about things and they're selling products, those are the ones that are converting the best right now, because people want to believe they're getting the right information. And if you are that source of right information with authority, with the right copy, with the right offer, it is converting better than anything right now. So we're very bullish. We're very excited. We want to not only help the United States and the world by getting the right information out there, but most importantly, the market's telling us they want you. So it really just takes all you doctors out here to step up, raise your hand, and take the responsibility for what the market wants, what ClickBank wants, and what hopefully you want, which is greater impact, more freedom, and greater dollars with all the information that you have.
Wow. And that's the reason why we have the event Doctor Podfest in Orlando on Thursday, January 15th, in about 3 days, which you're going to be
Yes,
there. We're
I
excited.
am.
You're going to give a keynote address on the business of influence. And we feel that doctor need to share their expertise to the world, and any doctor can do this, but we're so caging on our belief that the only way that we can have impact is within the clinic walls. And if we go online, that put us at some type of risk. I don't know what that is. And I have found through my own experience in having a YouTube channel and with my growth is that I'm able to make impact millions of people that will leave comment and say, hey, I follow your advice and now I'm much better, and I have no idea who they are, and they're like out away from another country in Europe. So it just make me feel so like when you said the impact that I can have on somebody I never met before that are thousands of miles away, but yet was able to use information as well. So I hope that the doctors that are listening to this to check out the Doctor Podfest event. So go to drpodfest.com to sign up, and we have some special coupon that you can use as well too. So Kyle, what do you feel that at this point with in 2026, which direction are we heading with digital products?
So right now, I think digital products, in my opinion, and what we're seeing in 2026 and seeing, have actually become the tip of the spear and one of the
Mm.
most important things in driving and basically signaling intent of buyers. So what I mean by this is, we mentioned before, AI and Google has created information is accessible for everybody. But one thing I think there's remember, if everything's true, nothing is true. Because I could go into ChatGPT, I could go into Google, I could pretty much find whatever answer I think I want to find. Ultimately, I have to remember the AI is a mirror that wants to deliver us what we think it thinks we want to hear. That's completely adverse what doctors and what we need to do. But that creates a lot of problems. So that's where this idea of bringing these digital courses, these protocols, these things that give people what they want, but with individuals that have the authority and the right information are so critical, not only to what we're seeing that works and what the market's asking for, but I think it's so key is this is going to give rise to people that have authority to make differences. And ultimately, where all the information will be everywhere, the people that we trust to give us that information or explain it or make the information true are actually increasing in value. So if you want to maintain somebody that's trusted and your opinions and your help and everything that's going on in this world of trust, which is currently at war, everyone's trying to get the consumer's trust. Well, the
Mm,
best way that we're seeing to do it right now is not through content, it's through people's wallet books and giving them a chance to go do something, do a protocol, do a course, and get the result that they deserve, the result that you want, and the result that they're not getting anywhere else. So that's what we're seeing. And there's a whole funnel and structure behind that. I know I might say funnel, you don't know what that means. There's a whole structure to make this make sense. But most importantly right now is this the ability to get that into a way that's digestible, makes sense for people, and with a face that they could trust is critical into the markets right now.
So, are people just kind of overloaded with digital course? I mean, I just heard that Amy Porterfield, who is the queen of courses, shut down her business, and maybe with the advent of AI and creating courses now, are people just overloaded? Do they need more than just courses?
Well, I think the difference there is a lot of what Amy Porterfield is looking at courses is courses to the average person, courses to other coaches. And so it's the idea of coaches teaching coaches, and there's people teaching this and that and this and that. This is why where I think it's not courses, it's who the courses are coming from and what the courses are about. And I didn't
Mm,
say, don't think of this as courses. For digital products for doctors, I want you to think of protocols. This
mm,
is an entire process that you explain and walk people through that gives them the desired outcomes. Imagine there's plenty of times you probably had patients come in and you know there's a protocol that they need to follow. You also realize that
mm,
many of them won't do it just for whatever reason. It's just a part of the world. This whole thing is imagine pushing this out to people that are going to buy it solely to only do the protocols. They're not in there because they feel they had to. They're not in there because they needed a prescription filled and they'll listen to you talk and do nothing that you say. These people are here because they want to hear exactly what you have to say and why it's so important right now where other digital courses are falling. This protocol method is one of these things where really it's a vehicle for me to engage with the personality, with the medical professional. I'm coming into your force, I'm coming into your community, I'm coming into everything that's about you. And this is my test to jump into that. Versus courses in the Amy Porterfield world, that was more like, I'm going to teach you how to sew, or let me teach you this, or let me teach you how to be an influencer. Those became overly saturated. What we don't see in the market right now is legitimate medical professionals, legitimate medical information coming out through digital content. Most of this comes from some influencer that's a fitness person and said they have their new, regimen of supplements. That's the content you're competing against. And that's why right now consumers are tired of that because they're not getting better. They're not getting good information. They want more clarity. They want more truth. So it's not the digital product, it's who's selling them that is the problem. And that's where we really want those doctors and medical professionals to bring into the protocol and the digital front end to start really changing things in these markets.
and you hit it right on the dot, and that was the reason why I created the Modern Man Club, is my online coaching program to give men with ED a roadmap on what how they can follow to get out of ED again and not get into the trap of taking ED medication and buying the next best supplement that promises to take away their ED. And it's a roadmap on, hey, you need you do the work, you will get the result, but it's not going to come from a magical pill. It's not going to come from some supplement that is deep buried in some river in Africa.
Yeah.
That you have to pay a lot of money for or whatever. And we have found that giving the protocol, like you said, or the roadmap for people to follow, because as physicians, we do that every day in the office. How we diagnose through your symptoms and your history and your condition. We do it day in, day out, and we can come up with a protocol within minutes in the room that can really change your condition, if you follow it. And so I always tell physician that, physician, when you go online, you will become the curator of complex information out there, all the noises that are out there on the internet, and you curate the information and make it simple, for and create step by step for people to follow so they can have the transformation. And but we don't, what we do, that's what we do every day, but now we just have to do it on a mass scale of online, because I feel that physicians are so unique in our training that we can really take complex data. And I mean, what's more complex than a human being? you know, with different background, different presentation, different genetics as well, and the biopsychosocial, and we'll be able to put that into a diagnosis and a recommendation. And so that's why I'm so excited to get Doctor be so inspired to be really a curator of information that will transform people. And it looks like, from your perspective with ClickBank, you start to realize that, and we're so excited for you to be at Dr. Podfest to share your message, because I feel that this is going to massively change the doctors that's going to be in the room.
Yeah, well, I definitely hope. I think I'd love to see the faces there. And I would tell you, my last thing is, for any doctors that are feeling, one, they're looking for a change and their impact and their business, they feel like, and especially ones that feel like they're meant for more. You're looking at your practice, you're looking at information, you're looking at the world around you and think, I know I could do more, but I'm not quite sure how. This conference is not only right for you, it's critical for you, because you're going to learn exactly the roadmap to say those feelings of, I can do more, I want to do more, I want to make a bigger impact, I want a bigger company, whatever it might be. The answers are going to be there. We're going to have them for you. We have the connections that could make it happen. So, there's no better time than now to get started on these kinds of things. And I would tell you that's true all the time, but right now it could not be more true. The world is looking for clarity, and it is going to come from our medical professionals. We need you to save us again, guys, and it's going to come through digital content, because right now truth matters, and you guys have it. So look forward to seeing you all there. We'll definitely hang out. We'll have some good times. We'll share. I'd say anyone that sees me afterwards, if you're not sure what it looked like, you're not sure what your online business could be, come find me during the conference. We could sit down and be happy to share and understand kind of what you're looking for. I can give you a really good idea of exactly what your online business could look like, what your product could be, and what that future for success is going to look like going forward.
Well, thank you, Kyle, and I appreciate your time. I know you're at another conference now, and you're sitting outside, spending time with me. And I look forward to seeing you in a few days at Doctor Podfest. Check out the link, drpodfest.com, and we will see you there on Thursday, January 15th. Thank you, Kyle.
See you, everyone. Bye.